Right now, we're reaching the tail end of the annual Obamacare open enrollment period, where anyone who doesn't have insurance can research and buy their plans for the next year. The problem is picking a plan is a huge pain in the neck. There are so many different options with so many moving parts that I got to tell you, it's almost impossible to make an apples-to-apples comparison. And believe me, I have tried. Just navigating these changes can be incredibly frustrating. In fact, it's so complicated that we now have a booming cottage industry of companies that exist to make the process easier. Take EHealth. It's a health insurance marketplace with its own digital platform, EHealth.com, that helps consumers choose the right plan. And like I said, business is booming as more and more people decide to buy their health insurance online. EHealth's more than doubled. The stock has more than doubled year to date. And the stock's effectively quintupled since the end of 2017. I just wish I'd highlighted it sooner. So let's take a closer look with Scott Flanders, the CEO of EHealth, to learn more about his company and his company's prospects. Mr. Flanders, welcome to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, first, it's your first time on, so perhaps you should just fill our viewers in on the function of EHealth and how you're doing.
Right. I mean, we're here to make buying health insurance easy, and we started over 20 years ago. The company went public in 2006, and we've moved it recently into Medicare, and are helping seniors, millions of them.
And the stock has taken off since you started doing that.
Yeah, we've really been rewarded, but we're in a good market, I must admit. I mean, it's hard not to succeed when you have 60 million seniors who need help getting in Medicare.
Okay, in candor, I called you guys. I got a guy named Dave, because I'm in the market, sadly. And he was really unbelievably good, because it's also unbelievably hard. Because you know what the first thing I did was? I went to the eGov one, the government one. I mean, the one that's supposed to help us. Candidly, it was a joke.
Well, it's not really set up to be an e-commerce experience. So, and that, eHealth exists to make it as easy as ordering an airline ticket, and the government tries to make things as hard as they can.
Well, I think the example of your being kind of the Expedia or the Zillow of healthcare really works in terms of people at home trying to figure out what to do.
Absolutely. I mean, and we're not yet there because Medicare is such a more consequential purchase, of course. It's complicated. A lot of seniors have never even bought health insurance. They've been in group insurance most of their life. And so we're there to really help them. And from a stock standpoint, we'd like to think of it as being like in Expedia 15 years ago.
Right now, people should know that it's the insurers who pay. So if you try to get it through eHealth, it's not like eHealth bangs you for it. The insurers have to pay for your leads.
You're absolutely right. That's probably the single biggest misperception, is that people think they pay, but actually the health insurance company pays. Year to date, 83% of the Medicare enrollees at eHealth have a 0 monthly premium plan.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Now, I was impressed that you had so many well-spoken salespeople, but I also think in this time where employment's so low, it's got to be a problem for you to find great people.
Yeah, well, our average agent makes over $75,000 a year. But, we train them. They get licensed by every state. They have to be appointed by every carrier. So these are really career consulting jobs.
Okay. Now, about 6 months ago, we started getting Democrat candidates talking about Medicare for all. From your vantage point, would anyone want that if they worked at a company?
No, I mean, the reason I think it's dead on arrival, Jim, is because 150 million Americans have employer-sponsored health insurance, and they're not going to vote to lose that. Then you have another 60 million seniors in Medicare who are very happy with the system. They paid into it all their lives. They're not going to vote to have that taken away.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked because I'm on the tail end of Cobra, so I have to figure out what to do. And it's obviously Medicare is great. And then I started thinking, if they took away Medicare, like, I just pay for Medicare. And that's why I think that the people who went for that have peaked in the polls.
Absolutely.
You get the sense. I mean, no one has got more of their finger to the pulse than you. It's a loser.
Yeah. I mean, we talk to millions of consumers, tens of thousands every day, and they are not going to vote for this.
Now, I do want to know your own cash flow. You ramped up, so you had negative cash flow. Is that something I should be worried about, or is that just because you had a ramp up?
Look, it takes us about 2 years to break even on a Medicare enrollee.
Okay.
So we spend about $600 to acquire a customer, and then we earn.
Ooh, that's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot, but we earn over $1,000 per customer.
Oh, okay. So that's the LTV and tail revenue that you guys talk about in your very transparent documents. Now, Medicare Advantage. I mean, I see ads for us every day on TV, and I have no idea. They sound all so compelling. How do I compare Medical Advantage?
Well, so Medicare Advantage is the right plan for most Americans. And you're seeing some of our ads, you're seeing some of the health insurance company ads. What differentiates our model is we enable you to compare Humana against Aetna against United, whereas if you just call one of the health insurance companies, they'll only be able to sell you their plan.
But, okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. I watched the Humana ad earlier today. They said it was the best.
Humana's a great plan, and it's right for many millions of Americans.
So it matters what you want.
It matters who is your primary care physician, what are your medications, what specialists do you see. It's endlessly complicated. This is a statistic you won't believe. Only 1 out of 10 Americans are in the exact right Medicare plan.
Well, that's preposterous. How could the government allow that?
Well, it's very complicated. A lot of the problem is making sure that when you're talking to the senior on the phone, that you extract all that information from them. So which doctors do they see? Which specialists do they see? Which pharmacy do they go to? What hospital provider do they want to go to? What medications are they on?
All right. Now, I had the misfortune, my daughter, who's since moved, was in a very bad zip code in Oregon, and no one wrote insurance for her. Had I called you, would I have any luck?
Well, if there's no policies, there's not much we can do. And it is done on a county-by-county basis.
It is. So she was in a county that, unfortunately, had a lot of Native Americans who had pre-existing. Yes. So no one would write. What do you say to people who can't get insurance because of what county they're in?
So what I would say is the Affordable Care Act was good for tens of millions of people.
Yeah.
And it also raised the cost for millions of people who make too much money to qualify for a subsidy. And then there are counties where they're just completely without insurance. But it is better. The story is better over the last 2 years, and far more insurers are in the market this year than there were last year for ACA.
Okay, well, I don't compliment you for not being political. You just told it straight, and that's what we need. Okay? And you're very helpful. And when I call, I mean, it could have been a bad experience. I just tried a guy on Sunday. He was terrific. I want to thank you very much. Okay, that's Scott Flater, CEO of EHealth, EHTH. I've got to tell you, if you want to know why the stock's going up, just try to get this stuff without looking at his things. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate it. Stay with Kramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Kramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.